So what's the foundation of all our problems in this country? How did we get to this point where we are so divided? You know, nobody thinks anymore. Everyone's told what to think. No one thinks and rationalizes things. No one does. It's hard to have a decent conversation with somebody without them going toward racism. Oh, that's racist, or sexist, or some victim. It's like being a victim is a commodity. You're a victim, you're a commodity. You use that as a weapon. It keeps you from thinking, that's the thing. You like to not think. You like being told what to think. And the problem, the foundation of that, is our school system. Our school system pretty much sucks. We have one of the worst school systems in the world, K through 12. And yet we spend more money than anyone else in the world, and we got the worst school system. It's no different than our healthcare system. We spend more than anyone else in the world on healthcare, and yet we're the sickest people. That's what happens when you try to have the government solve your problems. It just magnifies it, makes it worse. If you want to have, you think sometimes, well, the ocean has sand. We will never be able to get rid of that sand. Oh, yes, we will. All you got to do is create a department, a government, federal department of sand preservation. And you see how quick sand will vanish from the oceans because we can't do shit. The government can't do shit. Our school systems suck. We have our kids going to school being taught archaic ways of thinking. Teacher up there with a blackboard, on the blackboard used to be chalk. We've advanced now. We're so modern, we use dry erase markers. It's rare that they have technology in the classrooms. Maybe a PowerPoint presentation on a whiteboard, that's it. These kids don't go outdoors to explore nature, look at trees, understand trees, talk to trees. They don't understand that. And then in our school system, one of the biggest problems is a lot of our kids, predominantly in the inner city, and when I say inner city, basically people who are struggling financially. If you're a type of racist person, you might think I'm speaking of just Latinos and blacks. No, whites are included too. They're poor white people who have an inner city too, live in trailers, and that's kind of stereotypical, right? What they call trailer trash. But these kids go to school, and many people who are poor come from single mother homes. Okay, there's some single fathers too, with the moms abandoning the children, but predominantly is the dad abandoning the child, or being in the life, but they're raised by the mom predominantly. Okay, women are too emotional to be able to create a young man. Women raising young men will usually create old children. Right? He's a 25-year-old kid. They don't create young men. They create old children. It's because they're emotional. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just they're too emotional, and there's no man in their life to be more rational. They're too emotional. And then the kids, no parent at home, no dad at home, come to school, and all the teachers are female. It's rare that they get a male teacher. Rare. So they go through 12 years of school in an emotional infestation, because everything is emotional. And once again, there's nothing wrong with being emotional. There's nothing wrong with women. But to say women are not the problem, they are. Women are the problem. We don't need our kids, K through 12, taught by just women. We cry and yell and scream, diversity, diversity, diversity. I don't see males in there. I don't see people who think differently. Our boys should be taught by males. And especially when our teachers come from a well-off neighborhood to come teach in the inner city, they have no reality, no touch, no concept of the struggle of people who are going through the inner city. All they do is go and they feel sorry for you. I don't need you to feel sorry for me. So then you pass me along. You give me A's to boost my morale, not realizing what you're doing is hurting me. You're trying to help, but you're hurting me in the long run, telling me I'm smart and I'm not learning shit. You give me a degree, you give me an A, honor roll A. I'm supposed to be proud of that, but I don't know shit in reality. A male teacher might be like, nah, that's a C paper. You need to do it better. Proofread, fix it. Get your shit together and fix it. A female teacher won't do that. They'll pass you along. Then they get to college and nothing changes. The same shit. Now, you do have male teachers in college, but normally you have those male teachers who are grown children. So the kids are still not learning nothing when you send your kid off to college. They don't learn nothing. Unless they're going for a discipline, like I'm going to be an engineer, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, where you have to have certain classes. If not, most of us, we're sending our kids to school and we're proud of that. Like sending them to college, yes, but they're not learning nothing. Then they get out and they can't get a job because they have no specialty, no discipline in any field. They have a generic degree. That's useless in the real world. You don't even need it. But we told our kids they need it and they're happy to have that degree, and that's great. It just means I spent 2 years in college. I didn't learn anything, but I spent 2 years in college. And now I'm not saying every college you don't learn nothing. Of course not. I'm not saying every K through 12 you don't learn nothing. You'll learn something. You'll learn how to read and you learn how to do math, but you don't learn how to think. You don't learn how to be creative. You don't know shit about technology, and that's where the world is headed. Robotics, the future, AI. Our kids are not learning nothing about that. So then what happens? Then when the job market is open for people in the tech world, we have to bring in people from China and India. Because they didn't miss a beat. They know where that's the future. You know, and then we cry diversity. We need diversity teaching. That's what we need. Not diversity, skin color, sexual orientation. That's useless. We need kids to have diverse thoughts, not all think the same. That's why I say our school system is the problem. The majority of people in prison per capita are from the public school system. The majority of young thugs running the streets and acting stupid are from the public school system and single parenthood. Well, we don't want to address that issue. Majority of people on the street homeless, strung out on drugs, are from the public school system. If we don't fix the foundation, the house is going to fall. And it will take generations to fix. We can't fix this overnight. So don't think you voting in Donald Trump or Kamala Harris or whoever is going to fix it unless they're willing to fix the school system. Why is it that some people hate that school choice can be an option? School choice is me being able to send my kid to any school I want because I know better, but no. You think the government knows better, so you're okay with the government saying, yeah, you're going to send your kid to the same failing school that failed you, you're going to send your kid there. Thinking it's going to be different this time, but it's not. Because you're not allowed to leave the boundary zone because of politics. I should be able to send my kid to any school I want. Get a voucher from the government to pay for it and go. Now you say, well, church and state, what if I want to send my kid to a Christian school? So what? You want to send your kid to a private atheist school? So what? I don't care. I'm a Christian, but I don't care. It's you as the parent should know where you want to send your kid to. Simple. Why is that difficult? No, you depend on the government to tell you. And then to tell you, you need to send your kid here because you live in this box. You send your kid to that school. God help you if you try to send your kid by getting a fake address sent to another school that's successful. That's against the law. You get in trouble for it. And let's not even touch the topic of all these illegals being sent into our schools. Their children who don't speak English, they can barely read their own language. Our school system is the foundational problem of all our problems in this country. When did that start? Whenever the government got involved. Every time the government gets involved. College is so expensive, you say? Yes, it's because the government started subsidizing it. Anything the government touches doesn't turn to gold. It becomes as expensive as gold. I'm out. Peace.